Welcome back, everybody. Well, one of the toughest parts of eating right is all the good stuff we have to give up. Well, our Better Choice Challenge nutrition ambassador, Peggy Kotsopoulos, says that is not so. In fact, she says that just by making a few little substitutions to some everyday foods, we can eat a whole lot healthier. Please say hello to Peggy. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hi.
How you doing, babe?
Good, thanks.
Good. So you're saying just little substitutions, that's all we need to do, and we're on the path to eating healthier.
Absolutely. So many of us want to eat healthier. Some of us are on restricted diets. We're trying to lose weight, and we think we have to give up our favorite foods, but really, that's not the case.
That's not the case.
All we need to do is make small changes to the ingredients that make the biggest difference in terms of overall health and taste.
Perfect. And
so let's begin.
Let's start with the first one, and this one here is, you know, everybody's favorite.
So this is sugar. So if we want to eat healthier, and if we're trying to lose weight, typically sugar is the first thing we want to get rid of, right?
Oh, yeah.
So sugar suppresses our immune system, leads to weight gain, obesity, feeds disease, so we want to limit it. What we want to really cut out is refined sugar. So the bad stuff is right here, white sugar.
Refined sugar.
Brown sugar is really white sugar with molasses, so we want to eliminate that. But so many of us have a sweet tooth, right?
Oh, guilty.
Right?
Yep.
So healthy options, stevia, for example. Stevia is a zero glycemic sugar, so it has no impact on your blood sugar level. It's actually a 0-calorie natural sweetener. So if you're diabetic or trying to lose weight, it's a great, great option.
Nice. And this is one we can find like health food stores and things of that nature?
You can get it from any grocery store actually carries it.
Oh, great.
Things to be mindful of, it is about 100 to 400 times sweeter than sugar. So a little bit goes a long way in terms of flavor.
Sweeter. Yeah, so
it can be bitter and pungent. Yeah, you don't want to use a lot. It's not equivalent to sugar, so just a tiny, tiny little bit. Yeah. But my favorite sugar, natural sugar, is coconut sugar.
See, I don't know this one.
Coconut sugar is absolutely delicious. It tastes great. It tastes almost like a caramelly taste, but it's also low glycemic. It's extremely low glycemic, so it's not going to cause huge spikes in your blood sugar level the way that other sugars would.
Yep.
It's also loaded in vitamins and minerals. Here, you got to try it.
I totally have to try it.
It's loaded in vitamins and minerals, high in magnesium, zinc, which are good for the men in your life. Wink, wink. Yeah. Actually, just really good. And isn't it delicious? Yeah, so it's a great substitution for white sugar, and it has lower fructose content than agave nectar, which is an also natural sugar. So it's delicious.
It almost tastes almost like a dessert, like a baked topping.
It tastes like caramel. It tastes almost like caramel or butterscotch. Yeah, what you don't want to do is eat it with a spoon out of the bag. It is still a sugar.
With a spoon, a bag, and a spoon.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
The next one here, and this is my weakness, sour cream.
Yeah, so sour cream can be higher in saturated fats, and you don't want to have fat-free sour cream because number one, it doesn't taste as good, and number two, it's replaced with fat-causing sugars. So a better option is Greek yogurt. Now, Greek yogurt, if you look at the consistency of it, it's really rich and creamy, almost like sour cream. It looks almost like sour cream. Yep. Great on baked potatoes. It's actually different than American yogurts because it's strained 3 times, so it gives it the creaminess and the thickness to it. You can make, it's higher in protein and lower in fat than sour cream.
Okay. And, so probably, and again, it's just a vehicle if you're going to make dips for spices and things of that nature.
You can add herbs and spices. Here we have a tzatziki. We added some garlic and some lemon juice. You got to try it with some veggies if you want.
Totally.
Another option, if you don't want to try.
Yeah, look at me. I'm just snacking away here. Go to this one. I find this one fascinating.
Okay, so another option if you don't want to do the Greek yogurt is cottage cheese. Now, a lot of people don't like cottage cheese because of the consistency of it. But what you can actually do is if you blend cottage cheese in the blender, look at that. You got something rich and creamy and smooth, and add a little bit of lemon to it. So you're adding vitamin C as well, but it gives it the tanginess that sour cream has. You won't even notice a difference.
Wow.
So you know what this is really good for too is if you know those nacho layer dips with layer salsa and all those veggies and stuff, put this on the bottom sour cream with salsa and load it up. No one has a clue.
Don't even tell your family. Just
do it. Just do it.
But you know what? No one will ever know. My mother used to do that.
I do it all the time. No one has a clue.
True.
So here, bread. White bread. 1 slice of white bread is equivalent to 4 tablespoons of white sugar in terms of the impact it has on your body.
Wow.
1 slice. So what we want to do, white bread out the window. Whole brown bread sometimes is white bread with a little bit of wheat germ added to it. So we want to make sure that it's whole grain breads that we're eating.
So you're saying read the label.
Read the labels. Make sure it says whole grain.
Yeah.
But the best alternative that you can do is something called a sprouted grain bread. Now, sprouted grain bread looks like regular bread, tastes like regular bread, but the nutritional profile of it has increased tenfold. When you sprout it, you're actually activating the nutrients, activating the enzymes, and basically you're actually breaking down the gluten in it as well. So a lot of times people eat bread and they get bloated or gassy or indigestion, which is the gluten. A lot of times it's broken down.
Okay, so we just look on the label, sprouted whole grain.
Sprouted grain is the best bread to do.
Wow. Now, This is, again, weakness. Jams.
Jams.
Yep.
So a lot of times commercial jams have a lot of sugar in them. Sometimes it can be up to 60% sugar. There's added white sugar that we want to avoid to it.
Yeah.
So the best thing we can do is take whole fruits, like take some blueberries that we have here, blend it in the food processor with some ground chia. Chia is loaded in fiber and antioxidants and omega-3s. And what it does, because the fiber in it actually, what it does is has gelatinizing properties. So what it does is it makes a creamy jam. So if you can see that.
I find this interesting. So that's just fruit and chia.
It's just fruit blended up with some ground chia. You let it sit in the fridge for about, a couple hours, and it thickens up. Look at that. It's a great spread.
Can we throw some of that coconut sugar in here if we want?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If it's not sweet enough, add some coconut sugar to it. But isn't it delicious?
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And what you can do too, if you don't want to process some fresh fruit with chia and let it sit, if you're immediate gratification kind of person, take some dried fruit, throw it in the food processor, and you got a spread. So here we got some dried apricots, and look at that, same thing.
And again, so if we're looking for the dried fruit, we don't want to have like those banana chips or any fruit that's been processed in sugars, correct?
Right, exactly. So this is just natural dried fruits.
Right. Okay.
And then really, if you're pressed for time, pick up some apple butter. You can pick it up from, it's in the jam section. It's higher in fiber, tends to be lower in sugar than apple, so it's a great spread. And a lot better for you than jams and things of that nature. A lot better for you. That's fantastic. Isn't that great information, guys? Just, small little things, that's all we have to do, right? Now, Peggy, you have our Better Choice Challenge for today, don't you? What are we going to do? I do. So our Better Choice Challenge for today is to look at your existing diet and make small changes that we talked about today. And the commitment is to start today. Today. Just those small little changes. Small little changes. And don't forget, after you've completed it, go to our website and register the challenge. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Peggy. Beautiful. And we'll be right back because you know what? Chris's Angels are here, so don't go away. This is